that's happening on the 21st of June. We're going to just talk a little bit about the degrees. I'm not going to go too much into the astrology because there's a lot of amazing astrologers out there doing that, so I'll leave you to their capable hands. And then we'll do a little bit of a spread talking about what the messages and themes are for that eclipse. Yeah. So I hope you guys are all finding ways to be still in what is currently the most intense retrograde season I can access in recent memory. We've got, since yesterday, we've got Mercury that just went retrograde. There's going to be another video coming up later today about that and what that will mean for you. We've also got Pluto, Venus still for another week, Jupiter, Saturn, and then Neptune goes retrograde in a couple of days as well. So we're in the thick of it. It's time to lay low. Okay, so yeah, this solar eclipse is at 0 degrees and 0 minutes of Cancer. So this is called the critical degree. It's on what's called the world axis. So basically what this means is that all of the past karma or the past lessons have been cleared out, and it's a really powerful time to be setting a new intention. It's a new beginning. In Cancer, this is a new beginning regarding home. It's regarding roots. It's regarding how we take care of people and how we find community with people. It is happening on the summer solstice as well, depending on your time zone. So that's, that's just more access to those higher realms. Like when there is a solstice, the Earth's magnetic fields drop. So we're able to go higher in our meditations. This is a really amazing time to be taking spiritual action. And one last thing that I will say about that is the Sabian symbol for 0 degrees of Cancer, because I felt like when I was doing all of my research, it kind of got really a lot of messages, and I couldn't quite figure out how to bring them together and connect them in a way that felt really coherent and cohesive until I came across the degrees. And I love the degrees because it always encapsulates just the spirit of what's going on. So the Sabian symbol says, on a ship, the sailors lower an old flag and raise a new one. Okay, that is the Sabian symbol for that. And I love that because I feel like, we are in this period of destruction of the old and bringing in of the new. I feel like this is a really beautiful affirmation as well, because Spirit's you can choose very intentionally what you want that new flag to be like for your own life and for the world. So I hope that this reading will help you to direct your thoughts towards what sort of intentions you would like to be setting for yourself and for the world. And without further ado, let's just kind of get into it. Okay, so I'm going to take my time shuffling for this spread. I will have the timestamp for when I actually start reading in the description box down below if you don't want to watch me thinking, doing all that good stuff. Yeah, that's there for you. Check it out. Okay, cool guys. So let's get into it. The bottom of the deck is the 10 of Pentacles reversed. I love talking about this card on my channel. As you know, if you're new around here, welcome. I also, while I was shuffling, I just wanted to kind of preface this reading by saying that Um, Eclipses are pattern setting times, and usually the full effects of the patterns that we're setting for ourselves get seen in about 6 months. So, you know, we might be seeing something on the world stage very dramatically on the 21st, but we also might just be setting ourselves up for success in the future. So I just kind of wanted to, like, you know, preface by saying that and just kind of thinking long term. Okay, so yeah, back to the Ten of Pentacles. I love, 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 love that this is coming up again, because I talk about it in just about every single video. And if you're new around here, you know that I am like non-gender conforming and like gay and all that good stuff. So, you know, when we're thinking about cultural structures and societies, it's really quite key to be understanding the ways in which the culture has made us betray who we really are, and learning how to kind of make a line in the sand against those things, and, you know, be really setting a new standard moving forward, and very sharply questioning how we've become bound to those dialogues, and how it keeps us trapped in cycles that no longer serve us. I also want to say with that, and I'm sure this message will come up because I tried to do this video yesterday and it was just like Mercury retrograde was doing stuff with my brain. But basically just getting back into that place where we have nothing to lose in doing the right thing. And the culture would like us to very much believe that we need to stay in those cycles where it's like, you know, the white picket fence and like married with 2.5 kids and like you have the car and, you know, the husband slash wife slash whatever, and how that makes us somehow closer to being in the 1% or like white supremacy or like whatever. And like I promise I'm gonna switch from being really political into the spiritual realm in just a second here, but it is really important for us to say this because we need to be leaning into the trauma of realizing that we need to unlearn those things, and we need to be leaning into it, not detaching, not running away, knowing the difference between like I literally cannot handle anymore and being okay with that, but also recognizing when it's turning into one of those things that's like I just wish people would get over it, like it, not allowing ourselves to get into that place where where we are still allowing ourselves to be trapped in like a devil moment, or trapped in something that doesn't serve our higher self. Okay, great. That was a little bit of a ramble. We're already almost 10 minutes in. Okay, pause the video, go get your tea because we're about to get into it. Okay, the theme is the King of Wands reversed. Okay. So might be talking about doubt, might be talking about uprooting doubt, getting to the core issues of something, getting to the integrity that lies beneath. The King of Wands is a very interesting character. One thing that I always like about this card that always speaks to me is that there's the salamander that's right below the King of Wands' feet, and it's always kind of talking about going through fire to be transformed. Okay, so with this eclipse, it will feel very much like that. It'll feel very much like we're being squeezed through the eye of a needle, and it'll be intense. It'll be emotionally draining for a lot of us, but that's how we know we're doing it right. So that's the theme. The challenges that we're going to be experiencing are the King of Swords and the Page of Cups. Okay, so we might be tempted to cut ourselves off from our emotions with this King of Swords. We might be tempted to get back into a place where we feel that the only thing that we can truly rely on is our intellect or our minds. And then that's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is getting into a place where we are lashing out emotionally, where we're getting into pity parties, where we're getting into playing the victim, you know, rejecting victimhood, rejecting the belief that our minds are the only source of intelligence or consciousness for us, rejecting both of those things, and being aware that we have to work through those things. Those are the main challenges. Okay. So while we're getting back into our place of integrity, back into our place of what true willpower feels like, and getting out of doubt, knowing that our minds and our emotions are both going to be trying to go into overdrive. So really trying to find a balance between them, and really not allowing ourselves to get cut off from what's going on in our heart, but also not being so fragile or so overwhelmed or overcome that we can't see why it's important to do that work, why it's important to get back into our King of Wand lead power. Okay, so our higher selves want for us. Okay, it's the Nine of Cups and the Hierophant reverse. So true satisfaction, you know? We're entering the age of Aquarius as well, so I feel like this is understanding some of the age of Pisces stuff that still lingers. You know, this is orthodoxy, this is the church, this is sort of the powers that be. This is kind of like the government, you know, the legislature, like whatever is power to you. This can also just be like your spiritual community, and finding how those rules need to be broken right now in order to achieve some of this happiness, and in order to get back to true emotional satisfaction and understanding the divinity within us, you know, like not buying into the idea that we have to have someone as a mediator between us and God or spirit, higher self, ancestor, whoever it is that you pray to, like understanding that that is intrinsically within us, that is something that we were born with. It is our birthright to be transcending this mortal coil. And our higher selves really want us to be looking at the ways that we've been betraying ourselves by being stuck in these really orthodox patterns, like, and being stuck in power dynamics that make us feel disempowered, getting back into the place where we're able to access our wisdom, our love, our truth, our emotional satisfaction. This card is really great, you know, like he looks great, but all of the emotional satisfaction is just behind his back. So it's not something that it's an external world per se. It's something that is within and is accessed by going within. Okay, so I feel like our higher selves are very clear with this one. Our higher selves really want the conscious goal to be understanding the power that is within us, and not feeling that there needs to be an intermediary between us and the external world. Again, and this can be really political as well. This can be us knowing the power of 10 really well-written letters to our legislature to overwhelm them. It's a real thing, you know? This can also just be very like on a spiritual plane, like not, what is that Bible verse? I'm not a practicing Christian, but I was raised in that environment. And there's that one verse, and I can't remember where it's from, but it says, "Do not let people look down upon you because you are young." And really the spirit in the heart of that verse is just kind of talking about, like, don't allow people to tell you that you have nothing to say because it goes against what they believe, or because of your youth for some of you, or because it is counter to what the culture is, you know? This is like destruction of the old, rebirth of the new. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like there's actually more that I'm gonna say here. So there's yeah, there's one more thing here just about like the key to our happiness is truly within us. And I know that I said that, but I'm just gonna keep saying it until the message is totally complete. But really, like, getting back into the place where we understand that like divinity is within us, and therefore it is our responsibility. It's our privilege, it's our joy, it's our satisfaction, but it is also our responsibility. We're our own priest / priestess / priest X, whatever your orientation is. Okay, hidden energies, the Two of Wands and the King of Swords. Sorry, Knight of Swords. Okay. So what I was saying about pattern setting times, that's what this is really talking about, particularly this Two of Wands. This is looking at the future and saying there is so much in our hands, so much in our disposal. And we may not always be conscious of it. That's why this is hidden. That's why this is the energy that is surrounding us, but we might lose sight of, you know, amidst all of the emotional and mental overwhelm and uprising that we're trying actively to not be consumed by. The truth of the matter is that it is all in our hands. The world is in our hands. There are so many possibilities at our disposal. All we have to do is get clear about what we want, you know? There is also, with this Knight of Swords, I feel like running into chaos instead of away from this. I was doing some work with a good friend of mine yesterday, and we were just kind of talking about how this is a very pivotal year. And I'll just share with you what we kind of came to, because I think it's important. I think it's important to know that when the future is uncertain and when we are out of our integrity, when we're out of bounds for some of us, when we're not living our truth, it's very, very important to know that that change is inevitable. The future is going to come one way or the other. So are we actively creating it? Or are we feeling like things are being done to us, not for us? This can also just be like, you know, that with the tower moment, there's like the dive, don't belly flop kind of thing. I feel very strongly that this is talking about this as well. This is like the hidden energies at play here are that we might have so much clarity when we're able to get still enough for long enough. We can access it and know how to forward. And that's a very beautiful thing, you know? Becoming aware of that will restore our integrity, will restore us to our power for a lot of us. What else is here? Yeah, I really see there's like a lot of fear in this card as well. If you see like the horse's face, like there is fear there. There's a ton of fear. And, you know, the human experience is really just like, feel the fear, but do it anyways. Feel the fear, but do it anyways. Do the right thing. No matter what that is for you. Because, you know, your spirit wants you to get back into this place where you're totally like in love with your life again, where you have your power back again, where you understand that your fear is a liar. Okay. Whew, okay, that feels more complete. Let's look at the past influences here. We have the Queen of Swords and the Three of Cups. Whew. Okay, this is like the power of social media to me. This is the power of community and communication. Idea sharing, being around people who bring out the best in you, who empower you, who are like steel sharpening steel, people who really want to see the best of you and will be holding you accountable. I feel like there's a lot of mental clarity that we're coming out of in the past. And I mean, you know, this Gemini Venus retrograde, Gemini season that we're shortly going to be exiting, has been very much more about thinking and idea exchanging. So whatever ideas have been coming through in your communities that have been showing you that you're not alone in this, is really going to be giving that sort of foundation, you know, knowing that you don't have to go it alone. Even though like it is fundamentally like a heart journey and it is fundamentally up to us be doing the work, like knowing that we do have communities at our back who want the same thing as us and who are going to be able to educate us and support us as we do that. Okay, so it's incoming energies is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so this is definitely going to be looking at we've done a lot of work, you know, we've done a lot of figuring out what our core values are, figuring out which one of the wands we want to take and defend with our lives. This is understanding and seeing. The battle isn't over. You know, nine is the moment before something changes. So this is the incoming energy, and this is 6 months. So, you know, bear in mind, this is the moment before something changes. You cannot let your guard down just yet. You have to be ready. You have to be standing at the ready. You have to be prepared. What has all of your internal work shown you that you need to be standing up for? This is the energy. This is holding. This is like hold and hold and hold and hold and hold. Keep holding. Don't worry, your friend's got your back if you need to like go take an empathy nap or like a spirit bath. And like, you know, exhaustion from fighting your fears is a real thing. As long as you know that it's a long-term thing, you know, hold. It's the moment before something changes. Okay. Let's just see if there's anything remaining here before we take a look at the positive outcome. I know I said a lot about the fragility piece with the obstacles, but with the hidden energies, I just feel like this Knight of Swords is really encouraging us to understand what fully encompasses the situation so that we can just, you know, fully just like do it. Okay, positive outcome. Four of Swords and Death. Nice, man. This feels like transformation. This also feels like transformation with the way that we talk to ourselves and the way that we reflect. You know, death is such a great card. It really is. It's like, you know, it's leaning into that feeling, leaning into, this is at the point where if we do all of this work, this is accepting that things can never go back to the way they were. This is acceptance. This is acceptance. This is, you know, if you could go back, would you want to? Really, would you? Knowing what you know now, would you allow yourself to do the same? That's what this is talking about. Something ends, something transforms, and something in doing so brings you a lot of peace. You know? Yeah, wow. There's a song, I just had a song lyric come into my head. Adrienne Lenker, if you don't know who they are, just like, oh my god, Big Thief. She has this lyric that says, when you leave, a part of me will breathe. And I believe that. I believe that that's what the outcome will be for us. Yeah, getting back into the soul and the spirit of who we really are. Okay, guys, that is what I have for you. I hope that this resonates. I hope that this helps you in choosing your intentions moving forward for this amazingly powerful eclipse, the most powerful eclipse that we have in 2020. So use it. Don't be afraid of it. You know, I have total confidence in you. I'm sending you so much love. Take care, guys. I will see you in your next reading.